Good morning, I'm Dr. Chad Hawk with your Monday morning motivation. Today I want to tell you a very short story about a man named William Rushforth. William came to my office in 2000 and he lived in a town called Montebello, Virginia, way up along the Blue Ridge Mountain line on top of a land where he lived in a cave. Yes, he actually lived in a cave. He was the caretaker for this land. His job was to make sure that the stream stayed flowing and that the trees were cleared as need be. And one day he was hurt. He hurt himself working the land, and he didn't know what to do. He thought, I should pray. So he started praying, and a phone number came to his mind. It was 804-872-9440. That was my old number back in Charlottesville or North Garden, Virginia. And he walked from the land that he was the caretaker of into Montebello, which was about a 4-mile walk. He got there, he found a payphone, and he called that number. Well, on the other end of the line, I pick up and he goes, "Are you there?" I said, yes. He goes, "Okay, I'll see you." And then he just hung up. He didn't make an appointment, and I'm on the other end going, what is going on? The next day, I'm sitting, my practice was fairly new at this point. I think I had been open for, I don't know, a few months or something. And I'm looking out the back of my office, which is actually the front of the building, and I can see down Highway 29. And I see this guy, and he looks like Grizzly Adams or something. He's walking up the road. He's a big beard, and he's just lumbering along the road coming up. And he just walked into the gas station. There was a gas station on the first floor down below. He walked in there. I didn't think anything else of it. About 5 minutes later, he comes walking into my office. He looks at me. He goes, "You the chiropractor?" I said, "Yes." And he went, And he walked over and got on my table. Just no invitation, just walked over and got on one of the tables. And I just walked over and I said, "Can I help you?" He said, "Yeah, I called yesterday." And instantly it clicked. It's like, oh, this was the guy who just called. And out of the blue, I just start checking him. I didn't do anything else. I just started checking the guy and found out where he was subluxated, and I adjusted him. And I'll never forget this. I said, "Okay, you can stand up." And he stands up and he looks at me and he goes, "That's better." And then he just walks out the front door. Now, to put this in perspective, I didn't do any paperwork at this point. I didn't know his name. I didn't know anything. The guy just, it was like it was orchestrated from heaven above for this moment. And I cannot explain it. I've never had anything like this happen again. And the guy just left. And I think, what just happened? And I look out the front or the back of my office towards the highway, and there he is, walking down the road. A week later, the guy shows up again. And I said, wait a minute, no, I don't know what all happened last time. He goes, "Well, I'm better, and I need it again." I said, "I need to get some more information from you. I need to know who you are. I need to take it. I need to do a physical. I need to do all these things." And so we sat down and talked, and it turns out he shared his story with me. Back in the 1960s, he was working in Alaska with his wife. They were both engineers. There was a major accident, and his wife was killed on the pipeline. And he didn't know what to do. So he was distraught, he was upset, and he just started walking. He literally just walked across Alaska, down into Canada, walked through Canada, came down to the United States, and in the 1980s, he ended up in Virginia, and he got this job keeping the land clear in Montebello. It was about a 60-mile walk for him to get from where he lived up on top of the Blue Ridge Mountain Range down to North Garden where I was, 50, 60 miles. And after he had hung up on the phone, he just started walking, and he walked all the way to see me in North Garden. And then he walked all the way home. Well, this day, We did everything right, and I actually got one of the guys from the volunteer fire department to give him a ride back to Montebello, and then in Montebello, they got somebody to take him back the 4 miles to the land that he worked. But he told me how he heard about me, how he was praying, and the phone number just came. He told me how God had led him there, and that everything would be taken care of and would be all right. And I think that's a level of faith that we often don't have in our world today. Are we willing to be that extraordinary for both me to just adjust a guy and for him to walk 60 miles to get an adjustment on faith? And that's my motivation for you today on this Monday. How far are we really willing to go? How much faith can we have in God to see something miraculous happen in our own life? Thank you so much. Chad at drchadhawk.com. I'm here to love and serve you. Bye-bye.